guys can all of you all have to do complete that assignment because beta, like I said, in your exam also and internal assessment. See, now it is very important that you be a part of the entire class discussion because it is going to be very important. Internal assessment this year will be very important. Now I hope all of you must be hearing also. Yesterday you must have come across the news as well. So keep that in mind. Be active in the class, beta. All of you must be presenting something or the other. And here, when I submit this assignment, this is going to be assessed as well. I will give you direct indirect speech. There will be at least 5, 6 exercises, and I'll upload it on the assignment section. All of you complete it and submit it back as well. See, that's more of a practice exercise, but still you have to complete it because I'm going to assess that as well. Fine. So today you must check after the class. I will do that. And today let's have discussion first on the Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, because in the next class, that is next time, we are going to have the next chapter. Either I'll just take up from the Hornbill maybe, or even snapshot. The address is one of the best chapters. We can do that as well. But yes, today we'll do the discussion and question answer. Please keep a pen and a paper ready with you. Okay, this is before we do the question answer, and I will, because this time stress is on MCQs and all. That also we will do single line answers and all that. But before that, let's do this PPT so that it brushes your thing about the chapter, gives you the idea about it, and makes your task easier when we do the question answer. So, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is written by William Sarian, and his period was from 1908 to 1981. That's the time when he was there. He is an Armenian American novelist, playwright, and short story writer. He was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for drama in 1940. In 1943, won the Academy Award for the best story for the film The Human Comedy. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is a short story by William Sarion, published within the collection My Name is Aram. It tells the story of two boys, Aram and Murad, who belong to a very poor Armenian tribe, originally published in 1940. The main characters in Uncle Khosrow comes to Aram's house to smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. John Byro, an Assyrian farmer, also comes by for a visit and complains that his wild horse was stolen last month. Uncle Khosrow roars, pay no attention to it. John Byro says that he walked 10 miles to get to Aram's house, causing pain to his leg, and Uncle Khosrow again bellows that he should pay no attention to it. John Byro points out that he had paid $60 for the horse, and Uncle Khosrow shouts at him, and he stalks out of the house. Aram runs to his cousin Murad's house and finds him fixing the wing of a hurt bird. His cousin has a way with birds as well. Aram explains that John Byro visited and that he wants his horse back. He also reminds Murad that Murad had promised to keep the horse until Aram could learn to ride. Murad says that it might take a year to learn to ride, so Aram suggests that they keep the horse for a year. Murad moans that the horse must go back to its owner and that no Garoglynian could ever steal. He says the horse must go back to its true owner in 6 months at the latest. For 2 weeks, the boys take the horse out in the morning for rides, and every morning Aram is thrown, but he never gives up hope that he will learn to ride like his cousin. One morning, the boys meet John Byro as they are putting the horse away. Murad explains that he will handle the situation as he has a way with the farmers as well. John Byro asks the name of the horse, and Murad tells that it is my heart. The farmer says that it looks exactly like the horse that was stolen from him, and after inspecting the horse's teeth, says that the boy's horse could be his horse's twin. The next morning, the boys return the horse to John Byro's barn. The farmer's dog don't bother them because Murad has a velvet dog. He presses his nose against the horse's nose and the boys leave. That afternoon, John Byro rides by Aram's house in his surrey to show Aram's mother the horse that has been returned. He says the horse is stronger, better tempered than ever. Uncle Kushro shouts, your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it. So this is just a summary of the thing that I have told you about this chapter. Now coming back to the questions that are there, the long questions. Yesterday, in fact, we had a discussion.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask that this story is based in Armenia or in California?
No, better. San Joaquin Valley. In fact, it's written also. If they are better, they are basically the conflict kind of a situation was going in Armenia and Azerbaijan. There is that day we had a discussion also that they have a issue. The ethnic problem is going on. So they had migrated from one place to the other. Right?
So this story is based in California. So
Yes.
why is the title "The Summer of Beautiful White Horse" if they are not
Because
like referring to Armenia?
Because beta, even the situation there also, you see all these countries, the summers are much better than your winters. Winters are very hard, very harsh, and very cold. Because obviously, like in fact, if you see the San Joaquin Valley as well, it is quite cold during the winter. So obviously the summers are more like spring, and that reminds them of Armenia. It's the similar. That's why he says that he is quite nostalgic about his house. Like you remember that Aram's mother is saying to the farmer John Byro that he is don't mind when he says this. He's become like this because he's left his home and he's homeless and all that. So that discussion is because of the ethnic conflict. That's why I remember in the beginning we had discussed about Nagorno Karabakh and all. Gautam had mentioned about it. So basically they fight, they're migrants, you can say. That, yeah, I hope I made sense.
Yes, ma'am.
In fact, the mention of San Joaquin Valley is because of that only. The orchards being mentioned, the vineyards being. It's more like, how you will relate it. It's like as if it is more closer home. This valley where they're staying, it reminds them more of Armenia. It's more like the place they stay, the weather, the people are maybe indigenous. They are indigenous people, they have come
Yes,
together.
ma'am. Ma'am, all of them speak Armenian, so we can say.
Exactly. So they stay together. And most of the time, beta, if you read about the problems of nowadays, like for example, Syria and about Iraq, which was there earlier under Saddam Hussein and all. You read about any place, it's not far away. You read about Myanmar, you read about Bangladesh. In fact, our country also, beta, if you read, which we will have in 12th standard, there is a chapter called Lost Spring. Okay, in that you will learn about the migrants who have come from Myanmar and Bangladesh and they've settled in the periphery of Delhi. Simapuri, there is a place, so you'll read about that as well. How they migrated for better revenues. And when they are conflict ridden, especially when they have these ethnic conflicts, they have this religious conflict, and people suffer. During that time, they look for safer heaven. So that's where they come. But then you can't, completely forget your motherland from where you have been there and where you are born. So that is what the discussion is. That they're very homesick. They're very homesick, especially you notice that in Uncle Khosrow's stone, especially in Uncle Khosrow's stone, because children, they are hardly of age, they must have been born there, so they don't realize that, and moreover, their own people are there. The indigenous people are there, even you see the name, Fedvizian, Dikran, Halabian, the people are native people. So they don't miss out on that. But the people who are older, who are actually migrated, in fact, Beta, if you guys are interested in reading a little bit, read the books written by Khalid Hosseini. Have you heard his name ever? Khalid Hosseini. You must have heard the name Kite
Yes.
Runner. Yes? So the Kite Runner is written by this gentleman called Khalid Hosseini. Read all his three books. You will get to know the place, the topography, you will know the landscape, you'll know about the uh, cuisines, everything, in fact. He talks about the Taliban, he talks about Afghanistan, everything. So, in The Kite Runner, you'll notice that in his Thousand Splendid Suns, there is another book called that Mountain Echoes. These three books are one of the best written books. Read about it. In fact, in recent times, when you talk about all this, there is a lady called Elif Shafak. Read about her. You know, I generally suggest that to the that children who are in humanities section. They can relate to it in their political science as well and other subjects. So you can, if you are interested in your spare time, if you read, you'll improve your vocabulary as well with these books. They're very well written, very lucid writing, very simple, yet you will understand the complexities of life. So this is there. You can read about so many ethnic conflicts that have happened. Bosnia Herzegovina. If you read about that, this is one place. This Russian, this CIS countries which have come up after the disintegration of USSR. You can read about that. Endless. If you just go through the topic as such for your exam point of view, so this is sufficient, your summary and your question answer and all. But I personally feel you should explore a little, read a little more. Okay, coming to the first chapter, you will provide, the first question. That's on page number 8, all of you. If you have the book, fine. Otherwise, you can see the PDF that I'm showing you. The first question, you will probably agree that this story does not have breathless adventure and exciting action. Then what is your opinion? What, in your opinion, makes it interesting? Now, let me remind you one thing, beta. You like it, you don't like it. When I ask for your name, when I call out for your name, I'm going to grade you also today. Like, for example, in direct, indirect speech also, and this as well. And you must remember internal assessment is very important. So, what you do is, when I ask or call out your names, please do answer. Do open your mouth, beta. You cannot keep quiet. The same 4, 5 children responding is not the answer. Okay. So you will probably agree that this story does not have a reckless adventure and exciting action. Then what, in your opinion, makes it interesting? Look into your book and the question and then answer. Maybe let me just ask this time. Akshita, why don't you answer, beta? Akshita, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So could you just please answer this question? The question again you can read. You will probably agree that the story does not have breathless adventure and exciting action. That then what in your opinion makes it interesting? In fact, Akshita, I give you the option of even asking like, do you think there is adventure? According to you, do you think there is adventure?
Ma'am, a little.
A little. So if it is not there in maximum parts, so what do you think it is all about? Why is it interesting? Do you find it interesting in the first place and why?
Yes, ma'am, it is interesting because Murad is innocence, and we
Mm-hmm.
get and ma'am, he tackles the horse and the dog and even the farmer in
Okay.
various mysterious way. Uh,
Mm. So you
and
feel that his actions are like, they are humorous as well. Yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Now, you can elaborate on it. You can give the textual reference because if it is a long question, beta, then you have to mention the text. You have to give, like for example, they are on the horse, they move from one vineyard to the other, how it jumps, so it gives you that interest. Also, they are dreamers. Those parts you have to explain. Now, can anybody else, apart from, of course, Akshita, anybody who wants to answer in a different manner? Or you agree with it?
Can I ask him,
Yes, yes, please do.
ma'am, how the two boys thought that stealing the horse, I mean, keeping the horse for 1 year is not stealing, but
Mm.
for keeping it for keeping it for 6 months is stealing.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, those are the things, it's there in the text. Yes. Next one. So good, Arvinda, good. Next, did the boys return the horse because they were conscience stricken or because they were afraid? So now maybe Bhavya Bharadwaj, why don't you answer? Do you think this chapter, like in this chapter, you come across the boys who return the horse because they are conscience stricken or because they are afraid? Bhavya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Question number 2 of the book, that is the textual question. Did the boys return the horse because they were conscience stricken or because they were afraid? What happened? No answer?
Ma'am, actually, I've not read this chapter. Sorry.
Okay, you're not there in the class?
Ma'am, there are some network issues from last 2 days. I have new Wi-Fi connection recently, so I have
Okay.
joined yesterday also. But
But in the beginning of the class also I summarized the chapter. So then also it's not there. That means I failed somewhere myself. Okay. Daman, would you be able to answer, beta? Daman? Daman, are you there or you left the class immediately after the
Yes,
attendance?
ma'am.
Yeah, I asked question number 2. Did the boys return the horse because they were consigned stricken or because they were afraid?
Ma'am, I don't know the answer.
That's the easiest answer possible. What about you, Galaxy?
No, I also don't know.
Excellent. So 2 zeros already. And next, maybe Himanshu, why don't you try, beta? I know you've just joined yesterday, but still, can you answer?
I have not done this chapter, but
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jayant, what about you?
Yes, ma'am, I can try.
Yeah.
Ma'am, for me, ma'am, according to me, ma'am, the boys were afraid. That's why, also when they got to know that the horse belonged to John Byro, they
Mm-hmm.
just they were just afraid, and they just went because the horse belonged to John Byro, whose surrey had become useless because of his
Mm-hmm.
lost horse for a month. So he was like concerned about his horse, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like went to Aram's house, and then Aram got scared. That's why when he went to Murad,
Mm-hmm.
they decided to return the horse when John Byro came to Murad's house, like asking for the horse, like when they were hiding the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
they just really afraid. So they returned the horse next day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But they also wanted to ride it, so they like kept it for a while before they were not knowing it was John Byro's.
Excellent. So in fact, Jayant, good. But what you do is in the beginning when you start off, you can write that they might not have been conscience stricken. Why? Because had they been conscience stricken, they would have in the first place not stolen it. Even if they would have stolen it, at least after a few days, they would have returned it. But even after that, they are justifying their act. So they're not in a mood to return it. It's only when they realize that the thing will reach their parents because the farmer has already found out, that's when they got scared and they kind of returned back. Fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the next question, like we'll go to this one. See, there are certain MCQs more like quiz only. I have tried to form. So all of you can just go through them. The answers are there, but we'll do that later. But here there are certain questions, almost 30 of them. So if one by one, if you can just raise your hands and you can answer them. Now the first question. In fact, the children who did not answer. Daman, are you there, beta? Are you, Daman? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Yes,
now
ma'am.
the first question is very easy. Try it out. Who's the author of the Summer of the Beautiful White Horse? See, this is just a way of remembering the chapter. You just told me that, ma'am, I don't know the answer because I was not attentive or whatever. You didn't know that. So at least this way you're going to gain. So be in the class, be attentive. Now tell me, who's the author of the chapter, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse? There are 4 options also given there. Could you just tell me? No
Ma'am,
answer?
D part.
D part. Okay, so what is that D part?
Ma'am, William Surveillance.
Chariot. Very good. Okay, the next one. What were the hallmarks of the Garogling tribe? Hallmark. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of hallmark?
Ma'am, something
What they
Original traits.
Okay, which is original, which is their main system, the value system on which it is based and all that. Okay, so now uh, the question is, what were the hallmarks of the Garogling tribe? Now the question
And
is
both A and B.
both A and B. Okay, that will be nice. So I'll note your name as well. Both A and B, and that is trust and honesty. Okay, now the third question. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is a story of two.
Armenian.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, Murad enjoyed being dashed more than anybody else. What is the question? The answer?
Alive.
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 Excellent. Yeah. So this is just a way of recapitulating it out. Okay. Next, what according to Aram was his first longing? What is the meaning of longing? Can anybody first tell me?
Some
Ma'am,
desire.
Wish.
To ride a horse.
Fish. Okay. Very good. So one by one, maybe. Yeah. Next one. So answer. What is that? What according to Aram was his
To
first
ride
longing?
a horse.
To ride a horse.
To ride a horse.
Okay. Question number 6 then. Why couldn't Aram believe when he saw Murad with the horse?
Ma'am, they were poor to afford a horse.
Okay, one by one, beta, one by one.
Because they were poor to afford a horse.
Because they
Ma'am,
were poor.
option.
Option B. Excellent. Question number 7. This goes for Linoy. Linoy, are you there, beta? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Linoy, this is the question for you. Question number 7. Where did Aram live?
Uh, at the edge of town on Walnut Avenue.
Does everybody agree to this? Do you think so? Tell me,
Ma'am,
fast.
Olive.
Olive Avenue, Walnut Avenue. Please just, why don't you do one thing? It will be like an exercise. Just turn over your book, just see page where it is written and get back to me immediately. Because if I answer, then it is done. You will never make an effort also. Tell me, what is
Ma'am,
the
it
answer?
was at the edge of the town in Olive Avenue.
It was at the edge of the town on Olive Avenue.
Yes.
No, ma'am. D part is correct.
Walnut
At the edge of
Avenue.
the town on Walnut Avenue.
Exactly. Page number 3, there is towards, I think, third or fourth stanza. Please read that first line. That year we lived at the edge of town on Walnut Avenue. Clear? So he's right. So one, yeah. Next, question number 8. How does Aram describe the horse? How does Aram describe the horse?
C part, both A and B.
Both. Okay.
Ma'am, both A and B.
Just a second. I just lost my file somewhere. Just a second. Yeah, now I'm back. Yeah. Is it visible to you now? Is it visible?
Mom, three parts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where is it? Question number 8 we are done. How does Aram describe the horse? Can anybody tell me?
Beautiful white horse.
Both A and
Right.
B.
In
And both
fact,
A and B.
ah, magnificent and lovely, beautiful white horse. Okay. Now, next one. Question number 9. This is for Dikshita. Dikshita, are you there, beta? Dikshita, are you there?
Ma'am, I'm having network problems. The screen is black to me.
Okay,
I'm
just let me
trying
read
to
out.
fix it.
I'll read out the question to you. No member of the Garogulinian family could be, the options are poor, rich, a thief, crazy. No member of the Garogulinian tribe could be poor, rich, a thief, and crazy. These are the options. So which one do you think would be right?
Mummy.
Okay. Mhm. Anybody else? Let her just first adjust the screen. Okay.
Thief.
Okay. No member of the Garogulinian family could be a stop. Stop. Okay. Now, Murad was considered the natural descendant of his
Uncle.
Uncle.
Okay.
Uncle
Question
Khosrow.
number 11. Question number 11. How would you describe Uncle Khosrow?
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of them.
Okay. He was hot-tempered, he was irritable, he was impatient. So all of the above. Now next one. Question number 12. Let me just ask somebody 1 minute. Who would answer? Just a second. Maybe Rohan. Rohan, are you there, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. So question number 12. Please answer this. What did Uncle Khosrow do to stop anyone from talking? What did Uncle Khosrow do to stop anyone from talking?
By ignoring them.
It's just that you're throwing shoot mar rahe ho beta. So think over it. If you have read the chapter, you would not just tell me. Kanha, are you there? You tell me.
May I?
Yeah, please do.
No, it would be C by shouting at them.
By shouting at them. Good. Next, question number 13. In fact, Kanha, are you there? No? Lakshay, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you're going to answer this question. Yes. When now this one. What was Uncle Khosrow's customary line? Now, can anybody tell me what is
Ma'am,
customary?
option A.
A.
Ma'am, the
Yes.
option will be D.
B.
Ma'am, D.
Something that one uses a
Ma'am,
lot.
constantly spoken phrase.
It's no harm, pay no attention to it.
Yes. It's the last option
And we
B.
can call it a trademark phrase also.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now, question number 14. When Aram rode the horse alone, it ran down the road to the
Vineyard.
vine.
Vineyard.
Vineyard.
Okay. So there are enough questions for everybody. Now, Murad had been hiding the horse. These are the options: in a stable, in a barn of a vineyard, at a secret place of his house, none above the above.
In a barn of a vineyard.
Barn of Vineyard.
Okay. What was this question? In fact, 1 minute. Rohan, are you there, beta? Rohan,
Yes, ma'am.
why so? Yes, ma'am, as if somebody has punished you. Don't
No,
worry,
ma'am.
this is better tone. Okay. What was the behavior of the horse initially?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
I said, what was the behavior of the horse initially. What is the meaning of initially? Can you tell me?
And शुरुआत में.
Very good. So what was the behavior of the horse initially?
Ma'am,
It wanted to be trained? I don't think so.
it wanted to,
It wanted to
ma'am, run wild.
run wild. Very good. Yeah, this poem should be very energetic one. Very energetic. Good.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you. Now, question number 17. What sort of an understanding did Murad mention with the horse? What sort of an understanding did Murad mention with the horse?
Simple and
Let's
honest.
go.
I'm simple and
Simple and
honest.
honest.
Okay. Now, John Byro learned to speak Armenian out of
Loneliness.
Necessity.
Uh-huh. Okay. But remember the conversation between this lady, meaning Aram's mother, then you would know that what she was talking about. In fact, in the beginning also, there are a few lines which mentions this answer. Anybody? Think it over and then answer. What? John Byro learned to speak Armenian out of
Loneliness.
Loneliness.
Okay, good job. Who was the true owner of the house?
John
John
Byron.
Byro.
John Byro.
Okay, now this question will go to the next one. Shivansh, are you there, beta?
Yes,
Shivansh,
ma'am.
very good. So the next question is for you. For how long did Murad have the horse before Aram got to know? For how long did Murad have the horse before Aram got to know about it? Write it
Ma'am, I think 1 month.
1 month. Do you agree? Others, do you agree with it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. So next one. What time did Aram and Murad ride the horse? This is open for the class. At what time did Aram?
Early
Early
morning.
morning.
Early morning.
Early
Early
morning.
morning.
Early morning.
Excellent. Now, question number 22. Just a minute. Who should answer? Maybe Siddharth Jain. Siddharth, are you there, beta? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
The next question is for you. Question number 22. I have a way with farmers. Who says it to whom?
Ma'am, Murad says this to Aaron.
Okay. Murad says. So fine. Good. Now, Vani, your turn, beta. John Byro said a suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. What does this tell about him? I repeat, John Byro said a suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. What does it tell about him?
Ma'am, he believed in the honesty of the Garuglinian family.
Excellent. Next one, Vanshika. Why did the horse's owner refuse to believe that the boys had stolen his horse?
Ma'am, because their family was known for honesty.
Very good. Now coming back, I'll just read the name. 1 minute. Vani is done. Vanshika. Shreya. Shreya, are you there, beta? Shreya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now it's your turn, beta. Question number 25. When did the boys return the horse?
Ma'am, I'm not able to see. Ma'am, 1 second.
Hmm. When did the boys return the horse? I'm just asking a simple question. You can even take the help of your own book. Towards the end, it is mentioned also.
Ma'am, I guess after a year.
Okay, do you think so? Are you confident
No.
about it?
No, ma'am.
Just a second. Yeah,
No,
what is the
ma'am.
answer then? What is the answer?
After they ran into John
So they ran into
They ran into John Byro.
Excellent, all of you, you know that. So after they ran into John Byro, see, that is why that question, whether they were concern stricken or were they afraid? That is the question. Okay. Now, why did the boys return the white horse to its owner? Why did the boys return the white horse to the owner? Now, this question would go to maybe Dishan has also answered, Raman, everybody in fact. Now, Aman, you are left. Aman, why don't you answer this question, beta? Aman, are you there? Aman has disappeared. Okay, so Kannan, please answer this question. Kannan, why did the boys return the horse to its owner? This is a very simple
Ma'am,
one.
because they were conscience stricken.
They were conscience stricken? I don't think so. If there is a choice only between because they were afraid and conscience stricken, it is more to do with afraid. In fact, I answered that question also, that had they been conscience stricken better, maybe they would have returned it in the beginning itself, because that's the first value that they learned, truth and honesty. But they kept it. They kept it for such a long time. That shows that when they met the farmer, they got very scared. So it could be partly conscience stricken and partly this. But if there is a clear cut choice between these two, then the second one is the option. Okay. Now,
Okay,
maybe
ma'am.
next question. In fact, you can answer, Kanak. After the horse was stolen and returned, it became
Ma'am, C, stronger and better tempered.
stronger and better tempered. Don't you think it became rougher? No. Sick and ill? No. So C is the
No,
answer.
ma'am.
Okay. Now next is for Arav Grewal. Please, are you there, beta? No. Okay. Arav then. Arav Sharma. Are you there? Ah. Next question. Question number 28. White man, white. The horse has been returned. Who said this? Okay. The next one also, if you can just try your hand. Who is the narrator of the story? The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. No, it is not. Right. It is Aaron. Yeah. Last question. Maybe any one of you. Hey, it's open for the class then. What idea or theme does the Summer of the Beautiful White Horse entail?
All of the above.
Ma'am, all of
All
the
of the
above.
above.
All of the above.
All of the
All of
above.
the above.
Excellent. So the
Ma'am,
whole
but how
class was
honor?
involved. Uh, why not? You tell me the
Ma'am,
answer.
why? Ma'am, I think only honesty.
Only honesty. Okay.
Ma'am, but trust.
Yeah, please. I was just going to answer that. Yeah,
I think all of the above.
all the above. Why? Why do you think so?
Ma'am,
And
because
because
John
trust is the farmer's trust, and honor is the honor of the family for being
Correct.
honest. So all three.
Okay. All three. Excellent. So all the answers are done. All the entire class was involved in the activity. This I am going to send you, beta. If you, this will be an activity as well, counted as an activity. So what you do is, if possible, that is, if you have the option, please take a printout. If you can see, I'm repeating again. It's not compulsory. You can take a printout, paste it, and answer it immediately there or mark it there. Or if you can't, you don't have an option, please don't bother, write it with your own hand. This I'm going to send it in the class group, so you can jot it down in your hard copy, meaning this a notebook that you have, the register that you have, you can take it down with your own hands. If you have the option of a print, most welcome. Both the things are totally acceptable to you. Fine. So this goes an activity. Please write on the top today's date, and also write anybody who's maintaining a notebook, beta, I would like to send or see it. Please send it on my WhatsApp number. Anybody who's maintaining a notebook, please tell me
Yes,
honestly.
ma'am.
Yes, you
Ma'am.
are. So this
Yes, ma'am.
activity as well, very good. So this activity as well, you are going to put it at the top, write the Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, and in the bracket write activity, and write the, if you can take a printout, most welcome. You can't take a printout, no hard and fast. You can write it down with your hand and put it across here and mark it there. See, these are all going to be assessed. So keep that in mind. Fine. Okay, so this I'm going to send it to you on your class group as well. So this chapter, as per me, I repeat it again, as per me, this chapter is done. If you have any questions, do ask me, or else I will just, yeah, Ravi, you have raised your hands, Peter, earlier. Okay, okay, okay. So we are done with this chapter. All the questions have been discussed. A few questions along with the summary, I'm going to send it on the class group. Please take it down. And also, any doubts you have, please ask. Or else we'll move to the next one, that is a little bit of description about your direct and indirect speech, and I'm going to put that assignment on the section. You have one full week to complete it. Next week you can upload it. Okay, tell me, anyone, any question regarding this chapter? Anybody?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am,
great.
we only have to do these two question answers that are in our NCRT.
No. I'm going to send you. Don't worry. Short questions will be there. There'll be a few questions, other questions like one question. Please write it down if you can. What were the similarities between Uncle Khosrow and Murad? That's a very important question. What were the similarities between Uncle Khosrow and Murad? It's not there in the textbook, but it is important. Please write it down. The first one is, what were the similarities between Uncle Khosrow and Murad? Okay. Apart from that, some questions are there with me. I'm going to send it along with this particular activity that we have done in the class. And also, any other questions that I have in mind, I will jot it down and send it across. Fine. Now, coming back to direct indirect speech, I'm sure all of you have done it in your 10th standard also. Before that only, it's uh, just a repetition, that's all. Just maybe 1 minute, let me see. Siddharth, are you there, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just read it out loudly, beta. Read this. Is it visible to each one of you, the PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So just read it aloud, the very first section, direct and indirect speech. All of you know, I'm just going to put the rules across to you, what things you're going to keep in mind when you're doing it, because the assignment that I'm going to share, it's quite a few exercises, 5, 6 exercises, and one exercise will have not less than 10 questions. So do it extensively, because once you've done it, so many things are answered. Fine. Now, Siddharth, please read this
Yes,
loudly.
ma'am. Stop him, the man said. Good morning, my lad. I'm looking for an apprentice. Are you working somewhere? No, said the boy. I'm trying to find myself a part-time job now.
Yeah. Anybody who knows what is the meaning of apprentice? Who's an
Disciple.
disciple? Yeah. Somebody who's working under you, somebody who's assisting you, that is an apprentice. Yeah. Continue.
For experience.
Stopping him, the man greeted him and said that he was looking for an apprentice. He asked the boy if he was working somewhere. The boy said he wasn't. He was trying to find himself a part-time job then.
Continue.
When the actual words of the speaker are reproduced, it is called direct speech. When the main idea of the speaker's word is reported by another person and the exact words are not quoted, it is called indirect speech or reported speech.
Now the difference between direct, indirect, just these two you can read.
Yes, ma'am. In direct speech, we use inverted commas and other punctuation marks such as question marks, exclamation marks, etc. But in indirect speech, we only use full stops as an end mark. In direct speech, we use present tense, and in indirect, we use past tense. In direct speech, pronouns in first and second person, and in indirect change, it changes to third person depending on who is reporting it. We use modals such as will, can, must, shall in direct speech, and in indirect, we use words like would, could, had to, should, might, etc. We don't use reporting verbs in direct speech. Said told, and asked are most common verbs used in indirect speech.
Fine. So these are the rules that needs to be remembered. Now coming to the changes that are made very significantly. Like for example, this evening becomes that evening, today becomes yesterday or tomorrow as per the use. These become those, now becomes then, a week ago becomes a week before, last weekend, the week before the last, or the previous weekend. Then here becomes there, next week becomes the following week, tomorrow becomes the next day or following day. So these are the basic rules which are there. Like question marks or inverted commas are used for direct speech and not for indirect. Then question marks and exclamation marks are not used in reported speech. In reported speech, the reporting verbs like asked, ordered, exclaimed, and all that to convey the mood of the speaker. The tense of the verb in the reported speech is in the past tense, but it states a universal truth. The sentence remains in the present tense. The pronouns are who also change in reported speech. Pronouns of the first and second person are changed, but pronouns of the third persons do not change. Words indicating nearness of time and place are changed to words indicating distance of time and place. In reported speech, the words or the word or the sound used by the speaker to express an emotion is omitted. So these are the general rules. I'm going to share this also with you. I'm sure you've done it, but still, and then the few questions I'll put up in the assignment section. I would really like if you all answer that and submit it there itself on Teams. Fine. On that note, let's wind up today's class. If there is anything we can also discuss in the next class, even on reported speech and all that also we can have a good discussion. Fine. So on that note, let's wind up today's class. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, you can put it across in my personal chat as well and in the class as well. Okay.
Am I
Thank you.
available?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vita. Thank you. Have a good day, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am.